dashing zone. I'm going to be trying a similar area that I like. I've hit it a few times. It's about 35 minutes away from my home, which a little bit of a drive, but I'm heading this way anyways. Got to go talk to someone about some fishing tackle I'm wanting to buy. Today I'm just going to dash as long as I can, and as long as there's steady orders, I'll probably stick with it for a couple hours, see how we do. The main reason I'm wanting to dash today is I was reached out to by DoorDash through email. They wanted to have me test trial the new hotspot system that they have put in place. So apparently they've made some changes to the hotspot system. If you're not familiar with that, it's the little red avatar pops up on the screen wherever the restaurants are, where it is busy. That's why they call it a hotspot. Supposedly, if drivers are around that hotspot, they are more likely to receive orders right away. I'm not necessarily sure that it was any better an order than any other location, but basically if you're within that zone where the hot zone is, the closer you are, the quicker you're going to receive orders. Apparently a lot of people doesn't really agree with that, because I can tell you from my own personal experience, I've sat right in the parking lot on a couple of hot spots and sat for 20 and 30 minutes and watched the hot spot disappear to switch to a different location, and I've drove and followed it and sat there as well. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a bunch of orders, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be any better than just riding around your normal destination. Most people go by heart, where they know the orders are generally going to be, and that's what I tend to do. But in this video, just for the sake of trying it out, so I can give them feedback on this new system, I'm going to be trying, and I'll try my best to hit up all the hotspots that are available near me when they are available. And we'll see if we notice any difference or anything different, so we can give them positive feedback on this system. Hopefully it's going to work for the better for all of us. That's what my goal is, my intention. Give them my feedback from my perspective, being a driver in a small rural area, and maybe they can make it better work towards my favor. But we're going to try it out. I'm not for sure of anything other than the look. That's basically all I could see that changed in the email. They didn't really give a lot of details. They just asked me to log in and try it out on my next dash. So we're almost here, and we're going to get started. The area shows it's hot, and it's actually busy with 2 bars, and I'm logging in now, guys. Alright guys, so the first hotspot showing Taco Bell. I've worked my way up to the parking lot. I'm literally staring at the door. It doesn't really line up just right on this map. Same thing goes for just about anything. Got our first order, and it's for Taco Bell. Wow, that seemed to have worked a lot different this time. I definitely cannot wait to see how this works going forward. I'm going to run in here and accept this order, but the screen at the bottom I noticed actually had a timer stating so many minutes before the next hotspot would relocate. I thought that was really neat. Alright guys, got my second order right after I dropped off the first. I ended up declining that last one. I try not to decline as many as possible, but that one was 13 miles. It ended up being like less than 50 cents per mile. I try to shoot for $1 minimum. You know, you got to know your worth at some point, but also trying to beat these numbers so I could try to get that top dasher. Alright guys, so I just accepted the second offer. I didn't really want to turn this offer down. I turned the other one down, but it was 13 miles for like, I don't even remember, I think it was like $6. But I accepted this order. It's still a little bit of a distance, but the payout was closer to $1 per mile, and that's where I want to be and keep my numbers going. So we're gonna drop this one off and we'll be back in the zone. Alright guys, I'm sitting in Arby's parking lot. I'm dead on the hotspot, and I've been here for about 3 minutes. No orders. Not for sure what classifies a spot as hot, other than unless they have a DoorDash order but someone else has got the first call on it. But It would be a lot better, DoorDash, if you would actually post some kind of information as to how your orders are dispersed to Dashers, especially now that you have this new system going. That would just help us all out, so we would better understand what was going on and we could help to better the system. Alright, so I had another crappy order. One thing I have noticed about today, I've saw 2 other Dashers in this area, so it looks like we're all kind of cherry picking through to see what we can find, but it seems like we're passing around a couple of orders. Semi the same. They're wanting up to 8 and 10 miles driving distance for like $4 and $5. It's not going to happen, not today. So I'm skipping those orders. I just skipped this last one, which was ridiculous as well. I hate to do it because I'm so close to getting that top Dasher and being able to access that, but at the same time, you know, you got to worry about your vehicle, your property, and you got to worry about your time and effort. Alright guys, I'm back home now. I ended up cutting this dash short just because the orders were not there, and the ones that were populating were pretty much all declines. So after a few minutes of declining orders, I realized that my acceptance rate was taking a hard hit today, so I ended up calling it quits. So right before the end there, I ended up setting in Arby's parking lot for about 25 minutes before I even saw the next order. So to me, what stands out is I was in the fire zone, right outside that Arby's restaurant that said it was on fire, and it stayed hot as a hotspot for a good 20 minutes. It repopulated twice as a hotspot. Honestly, I don't understand how this hotspot system works, DoorDash. Give us a breakdown on what you're declaring a hotspot. Explain to me how this system's working. So I wanted to go ahead and give you my end of dash opinion on this. I ended up testing this out because they sent me the email, and ended up filling out the survey form and giving them my recommendations and my first-hand experience on what I thought. So please don't hang me in the comments. This is my own personal opinion. I am a rural area dasher. Very small population cities that I dash in have no comparison to California, New York, you know, Philadelphia. These places that you see other videos on, and their opinion on it could be completely different. That's why it's my opinion as a rural dasher in Southwest Virginia / Tennessee. So in my opinion, I don't really see anything different than the colorful changes they made to the new circles with the fire. I also don't really, I can't remember if beforehand or not on the old system, if they showed multiple areas or if they just showed you the one hotspot. But I did notice that I saw multiple hotspots on the screen. I did like that. Gave me a general idea if my town was split in half. If there was more blips on the other side of town, that's the town I went to, or part of town I went to. But not sure if that, like I stated, was available on the other one. I never used this tool that much or very often because it's never been truly honest to me. But also I noticed, and I did like the fact that when you click the hotspot, it showed a timer. That timer would count down and then it would repopulate, and if that area was still a hot zone, it would remain on the map. But if it wasn't, they took it away. So then I knew I needed to pick up and take off and go try something different. So at the end of the day, I ended up chasing the hotspots all day long and didn't really notice anything that was any different than any time before. I still think that this is a tool that I'm not going to use. And since this video is recorded, I have done this several more times and noticed the same thing, so I want to throw that out there as well. I ended up making the end of this video a few weeks out so that I could get a full first-hand experience, not just on one crappy day, just in case a good day would show different results. And my opinion is still the same. I've done this for another 2 weeks, I think, or maybe 3 since this video. But my overall opinion is I'm going to continue to go with my gut feeling. There's one thing that I've learned, and it is tried and true. I know the top 5 restaurants in my area and I generally start my dash within a mile of those zones. So once I get there, I turn my dasher on and start dashing. I generally start getting orders right away. So for these last few trial runs, testing out the hotspots, I stopped in the areas that said it was hot, that was different locations than these top 5 restaurants I'm telling you about. Didn't get orders right away. Sometimes I waited up to 10 and 15 minutes, got bored, took off to the other end of town and started picking up orders. I don't know how your system works, DoorDash, but it doesn't work for me as a rural dasher. Probably won't use this tool, and it probably won't affect how I DoorDash. It just, to me, it's a worthless tool. It needs something different. It needs a better explanation. So I'll end on the note of what I suggest that you should do, and that is, instead of just putting a fire blip above these restaurants, I think you should put a number in there. So let me give you an example. Let's say that town is spread out on a stretch of about 3 miles. Every mile there's a restaurant. So we'll say McDonald's, Wendy's, and Hardee's. So if I turn my app on and your hot dasher says all 3 restaurants are fire hotspots, so what am I to do? Which one do I go to? How do I know which one's going to provide an order first? That's the problem. I don't know. I'm playing a guessing game. I have to go try these 3 hotspots out and hope I get an order. Hope that a DoorDasher hasn't beat me there and already got that order, and the app hasn't had time to repopulate and tell me there's no orders there. To me, I don't like that system. It's a guessing game still. No advantage for me. So I think if you would put the amount of orders available above the restaurant in that fire symbol, I think it would work a lot better. So in our example, let's say Wendy's had 6 orders, McDonald's had 2, and Hardee's only had 1. So which one do you think I would go to? I would naturally go to Wendy's because they had 6 orders, and so would other dashers. So to me, that would help us across the board. The dasher would be getting orders because they know where to go and who had the orders. The restaurants who truly needed to get the orders out because they were overflowing in orders would get the dashers there, so that would help them. And it would help you because you would more than likely make more money because we were able to go get the orders in the zones and areas that we needed to be. You'd have that driver there in that location ready where he needed to be because that's where the orders are at, not on the other end of town waiting where he thinks is the right place to be. So overall, that would help all of us. And then on top of that, if a person accepted an order, so let's say me and my friend Dasher that dashes with me both rode to Wendy's and we both took 2 orders apiece. So Wendy's would drop down and it would only show 2 orders left out of the 6. So then the drivers would know, well, hey, someone's there, they've already picked up the orders, there's only 2 left. I'm going to go ahead and move on down to the next one, which is McDonald's, because it's got the next most orders. To me, I think that would help out tremendously. And it would also help out that if I unassigned an order, it put it back in that cloud so that people knew that, there's an update there. So the numbers fluctuate. If you could do that, DoorDash, even if you lit up every map, not just did hotspots, but if you lit up all the restaurants on a map, I don't know how that would work in big cities because there are probably like 50 restaurants within a zone. But in my rural area, there's only like 7 or 8 restaurants in one section. So if I had all 7 restaurants showing how many orders were available, I would go pull up to the one that's probably in the top 3, park in that parking lot, and keep going until those numbers went down, and then I'd move to the next one. And I would always be there, and I'd save time and effort and money waiting for orders. So, that's my idea, my suggestion. Hopefully, they read that comment and they take it and maybe go with it. That'd be awesome. And, it'd help other dashers in my opinion. Alright guys, so that's all I've got for this video today. I hope it helped you. I hope you can kind of form your own opinion on it. If you're seeing something different, put it in the comments below. I'm not seeing this. Maybe it's different in your area. Maybe you're in a large system area such as California. Drop a comment below. Let me know how it works better in yours. I'm very interested to see that, but this is just coming from the rural dasher's opinion. Alright guys, so if you like my videos, please be sure to give me a thumbs up down below. I'd appreciate it. It takes a lot of time and effort to edit these videos and produce them. If you're not subscribed, you should definitely consider it. Drop out videos on the regular. I love to DoorDash for extra cash and share my investment experiences. I like to do stock market experience. Should have some video of those popping up soon. I'm still trying to figure out how to properly make those videos and not share my information to where someone will steal my information. Working on that, it's in progress. I appreciate you watching. You guys have a great New Year's, and we will see you out there on the road.